Three, two, one, boom.
Alyssa Mercante is back to work already, this time for Rolling Stone magazine?
Why am I not surprised? Rolling Stone hasn't been good since like the 80s or 90s. They got bought out hard.
Magazines anymore? I don't know. I saw that there was an article online, thanks to Master of the TDS for the heads up on this, that she is apparently working as at least a freelance writer or bylines. So
they let her go because she probably was costing them money or she got sued. If I had to guess. She would have not. She was their biggest, like, you have to put it into perspective. The only reason why Kotaku was relevant was because of her essentially posting shitty opinions. Yeah.
So far at Rolling Stone. And I saw the article and couldn't help myself. I read through it because I'm like, okay, she can't take a hint. Gamers do not want this person in the game industry. It's been found out she is an activist. She's not really a gamer. She doesn't really care about games. She uses games as a vehicle to push the activism message.
I remember when Rolling Stone was like looked at as like a music magazine. Like MTV used to play music and had like, you know, it wasn't all about shows and stuff. Now it's the opposite.
And it's no different in this article from Rolling Stone, which is what I was planning on making the video on today, just to discuss the aspects of why this is pure activism once again. But before I could even get to making the video, she had this insanely wild meltdown tangent on Twitter, coming at me, coming at my family, and just angry.
In short, he's a middle-aged man desperate for relevance. Mirror emoji, by the way. You're a middle-aged woman with the only relevance you have is being a bitch on the internet. Like, yeah, like, you can't see my hands, but I'm holding up a mirror. You're being yourself right now. A little bit of a hypocrite, huh?
Angry at the world because apparently this is how she copes with losing. What's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of Smash JT. And good friend of the channel, Alyssa Mercante, is back in the news once again because she has landed on her feet as a freelance writer for Rolling Stone, which apparently has a gaming section.
What? Rolling Stone. What was it? Rolling Stone magazine? What was it originally for? Rolling Stone is an American monthly magazine that focuses on music, politics, and popular culture. It was founded in 1967. The magazine was first known for its coverage of rock music and political reporting by Hunter S. Thompson. Oh shit, no shot. I completely forgot that Hunter S. Thompson wrote for them, actually. Yeah, I don't know, man. I did not know they had a gaming section.
Which is news to me.
Right.
Maybe Rolling Stone is trying to enhance this and build it from the ground up, and the people that are running it have no idea about her baggage and history that comes with her, and they were like, oh, you have experience.
No, they do. They just don't care.
Experience in the game industry? We're trying to build up our gaming section? Sure! Come on over. What could possibly go wrong?
I genuinely don't believe that Rolling Stone, like, they are a multi-million-dollar company, that they don't check what she's written. They just don't care. I think it's a disingenuous thing to say that they did not check what she wrote.
Hit that subscribe, give me a like, and check out smashjt.com for the full article breaking down not just the Rolling Stone article, but the ensuing meltdown that Alyssa Mercante has on Twitter because she can't take losing. Alyssa Mercante, a now infamous name in some corners of the gaming industry for her outspoken behavior, personal attacks, and unhinged behavior, controversial takes, everything that comes along with her, is now making her move to
and saying dumb shit like, I want to fight you, and then backing out when people accept her offer. I will not forgive her for that. I'm not gonna let it go. She said she would fight anyone, and then other women offered to fight her, and she pussied out.
maintain any sort of relevance in the gaming industry.
Let's see.
This time, she's taken what looks to be a freelance or byline role at Rolling Stone, a publication that's been trying to carve out some sort of space in gaming for a little bit now, with some seriously mixed results.
Why does she talk about Halo? Oh my god!
I don't think of Rolling Stone as a place I would go to for my gaming news. And I don't think hiring someone like Alyssa Mercante, even if it's for a freelance position, is going to change anyone's mind on that. Bringing Mercante in just for a single article so far signals a clear disconnect from Rolling Stone, understanding her impact on the gaming community and the heavy baggage that comes along with her. Her aggressive...
I just don't like looking at her. Is that offensive? I don't think she's ugly, like, she doesn't have, like, a scar on her face or, like, a deformity. I just think that she's not very nice to look at. I think it's her demeanor, the way she presents herself, like, even holding the microphone and the way she talks without actually talking. Yeah, like, it's just the way she's, like, carrying herself.
Interactions, especially over the past year, have positioned Alyssa as a polarizing figure in the community, to put it nice. She's someone who draws criticism and tension just to be on the front page of the news. She craves people talking about her as much as she talks about hating people making videos.
Narcissism, very, very good sign in a woman.
On her. You know she's there tuning in, one of the first people clicking on it because she can't wait to see what all these people are saying about her, because she is a genuine, true, to the bone narcissist in every sense of the word. From the perspective of someone deeply embedded in the gaming culture, I'm looking at this as an odd decision to...
She was obsessed with Asmongold at one point. I don't know if she still is now, but I think she stopped because her lawyer probably told her to stop. She was just like all over his tweets, quote retweeting him. I think she blocked him at one point too, but she still kept tweeting about him.
To say the least, from Rolling Stone, and it definitely proves their lack of any kind of insight with the gaming industry. Mercante's combative nature was recently on full display when she lashed out on social media after I tweeted that no game industry company should be employing her if they want to see any kind of long-term success. And I genuinely meant this.
Well, it's like Sweet Baby Inc. Like, yes, people can hire Sweet Baby Inc., but some companies will see the negative press associated with Sweet Baby Inc. and they will refuse them. Square Enix literally cut them off because of their bad publicity. She was unironically lusting for Hassan. Hassan works out and talks about politics. If he was an ugly fat dude, I don't think he would get near as much attention, not gonna lie. At least from women, too. He's tall. I wouldn't even know. I don't watch his streams, to be honest.
I do not think it's a good idea to hire this person or even bring them on for freelance work for your organization. It's only going to be bad things for them. I said, any company that hires Alyssa Mercante, even for bylines temp, proves to everyone that they know nothing about the gaming landscape and definitely should not have a dedicated gaming section on their website.
She looks like a WWE villain. Wait, that's actually true. I can see it. Wait, she kind of does. You know, like the way she grabs her mic and she's like, I'm gonna kill you. She would do good in that kind of show, probably. Like, unironically.
GTFO of our industry, you are not wanted here. And I was quote tweeting Master of the TDS, who found out that she was writing for Rolling Stone. He said, would appear Alyssa Mercante has ended up at Rolling Stone of all places. And she didn't take too kindly to my sentiment, of course, and that's to be expected. But she responded with a series of tweets that read more like personal grievances from her own projections rather than any kind of professional rebuttal. But
everyone is soy pogging except her and... No, actually, it's just her. Everyone's soy pogging. This is insanely cringe to see.
any kind of professional rebuttal. But then again, it's Alyssa. Should anyone be surprised at this point? She quote tweeted me saying, "Doesn't it seem like they want to chase people they don't like out of the industry?"
Lady, you're doing the exact same thing but with video games. Like, what? Yeah, like that. The soy smug face. Dude, that's like actually this fucking frame right here, dude.
Yeah. What? Like, yeah, that's the. I'm glad you understand that. That's what we're saying. Yes, get out of the industry. What? And clearly, she realized that was.
There's plenty of people who hold the same kind of opinion as Alyssa. The difference is that Alyssa actually unironically doxes people. She threatens them. She says, "I'm going to find out where you live." She gets into lawsuits and threatens to sue people for doxing, even though they're not doing it. Like, she's actually insane. She calls their family. Yes, she doxes their family, calls to action. It's like nobody wants to be associated with someone who actually doxes people. Yeah, she brings in like actual personal attacks on them.
A big oof to say that, so she had
bad
to follow it
PR.
up with an unhinged rant of saying my full name, talking about how I've been trying to make it as a YouTuber for nearly a decade and has been.
I love this too, using their full name. I have a bunch of followers that are unhinged schizos, and I'll just keep doing it. Classic.
In and out of jobs, tangentially. God, she loves saying that word.
Tangentially? I can't even say that word. Tangentially.
Related to the industry
Tangerine.
for longer. He chases whatever gets him clicks. And since March, it's been me. Well, no, Alyssa, actually, since March, it's been the entire gaming industry and the people that are destroying it from the inside out. Which, big shocker here, breaking news, you were one of the people that was the main problem with it. I took issue with a lot of the things you were doing. I felt it was very self-destructive in nature for the entire game industry as a whole. And
Well, I'm sure the guy criticized her. He just didn't, like, call her family. Tangentially? Oh my god.
all I'm doing is putting a spotlight on it alongside everyone else in the industry that's destroying it. Sweet Baby Inc. comes to mind. Plenty of other journalists in the industry that I've covered too. Like, I know you're super narcissist and you think all I think about and talk about is you, but genuinely, you are just a sidebar in a much grander problem here.
Go yourself. Is that clear?
He didn't work for years, and he was coasting off of his GameStop stock money. Got a job and held it for barely 2 years, then went straight back to trying to grow his YouTube presence by chasing internet drama.
It's a bit of a... Bro, she's stalking him? I don't know how much of this is public information, but it is rather unhinged that you're, like, kind of, like, outing his personal laundry, I guess.
That is such a creepy post. Like, it's almost like you're telling everyone, you know everything about my personal life and you want to put it on display out there as far as what's going on with.
Well, she talks about being a sex worker and how she hates men, like publicly all the time. I don't know to what degree this guy talks about, having a job in GameStop, like, money. Like, what is this, like, personal attacking? It's so weird. How's she a sex worker? Oh, she openly talks about it on her Twitter, or she's done in the past. Yeah, she talked about it.
Me, which is just such a weird angle to take. Why do you care about what's going on with my life personally? How does that impact my coverage of the video game industry and talking about how to make it better? It's almost like This is more projection. And Alyssa, if you didn't know, I am in a documentary regarding GameStop because I have a passion about the video game industry. That's why I invested in GameStop, because I felt like they were turning things around at least a few years ago, which is where that all started from. And if you
So he was one of the lucky ones that had it invested before the... Oh, that's actually kind of funny. What a lucky, like, thing. Well, not lucky. I mean, again, it was a stroke of luck, I guess. Yeah, like, good for him. Who gives a fuck? Like, he did his due diligence. He believed in a company and it went to the moon, you know, under insane circumstances.
care to find out more about that, feel free to go watch GameStop Rise of the Players, streaming now on Hulu, which is not an advertisement, it's just reality. I know you love to get as much as me as possible, and if you're running out of videos to watch of me, go ahead. You can watch me in a documentary too.
Shout out to Smash JT. Terrific video.
Isn't this guy the crazy guy that was into stocks and lost like $2 million? I forget. Is this the same person? That was insane to watch. Yeah, Kitty! Yeah, that guy! He's crazy.
That you
like,
upload
actually
on
insane.
So I'm just like, man, finally, someone as crazy as me.
In short, he's a middle-aged man desperate for relevance with no discernible talent, latching onto clickbait and internet drama to justify his $18,000 streamer shed. I'd be...
Chat, $18,000 for a shed outside your home is like actually not that much. That's pretty average. Yeah, I was gonna say I've talked to friends that like tried to build stuff on like their property. 18,000 is really not that much. Like that's a good money. Don't get me wrong, 18,000 is a lot of money, but it's like that's like normal money. If she said $50,000, I'd be like, damn, that's a lot. A lot of garages cost more. Yeah, absolutely. But this is like a shed away from the house. Yeah. My parents got a shed and built for more. Yeah, this is pretty average.
mortified to have this man as my father.
I want a gamer shed. That sounds fun.
Okay, so apparently having a
Extreme
passion
shed.
for your career, putting money into your own channel, trying to make it better for their viewers, and caring about what you do is seen as a net negative to this person. And in addition to that,
so.
she feels the need to start bringing family into this and talking about my kids and how somehow...
What do his kids do? They're just his children.
they'd be mortified if they knew who their dad was? The hell is wrong with you? Lego Guru 200
okay.
summed up her feminist approach pretty perfectly, stating, "This is normal feminist behavior. Feminists measure value between themselves by how many men a woman can manipulate into doing her bidding, how many men she can keep friend-zoned and still giving her money. When a man refuses to be her money slave, she gets very upset because that looks bad. If one guy can get away with it, others may as well. So they enact shaming language to try to put you back in a place of serving them," which kind of goes back to the overall...
What? No, let me read that again. Hold on. What? I can't go back to
the
it.
overall, that's the only way I can make sense of her unhinged rant. It doesn't make any logical, like, why would you...
Normal feminist behavior. She gets very upset because that looks bad. So she gets mad at them for not giving her money? Yo, this bitch is crazy, Chad.
say this stuff unless you have a perspective of you need to put someone in their place so that they're subservient to you. It's not how the world works. Diving into Mercante's article on Rolling Stone, it's easy to...
We need to stop calling these people feminists. I agree. I think real feminists are the ones fighting for the women in Iran to like, you know, to stop them from having to not go to school and not talk to each other because of like extremist like dictatorship. Like it's sad because there's so many places in the world where women unironically get treated like shit, but in this first world country of America, people are like, "Oh my god, I'm a feminist. I need to have the right to talk about how shit men are in my video game journalism article." There's such a first world problem when there's women who can't even get like basic education at like age fucking 6 or 7. Yeah, like in the Middle East. It's like, what the fuck, man? I hate this.
See that she is using this as yet another vehicle to push her activism. And I know she's not going to like this getting out there because the truth hurts. And while the headline of the article definitely gives a nod to nostalgia, her piece ultimately reveals her underlying intentions. It's far less about honoring gaming history and far more about reiterating the familiar narratives that align with activism. The article dives into the development challenges faced by the original Bungie team, emphasizing the high-stress, crunch-heavy environment during the making of Halo 2.
That's like every amazing game in like in the history of video games. Every single one has to undergo crunch. Unfortunately, that's the price of pain and art and beauty. Like, it sucks.
She has a long history of injecting tidbits of activism sprinkled throughout her writing, and in this case, framing the game development through a critical social lens often infuses her article with broader messages about industry-wide problems. Her background as a writer who consistently blends industry criticism with progressive and activist viewpoints is easy to spot from a mile away. By using the history of Halo 2 as a vehicle to move to her target, Mercante continues to reinforce conversations about ongoing systematic challenges, positioning her writing as part of a larger pattern aimed at creating a dialogue around workplace practices, diversity.
I just don't understand. There were plenty of women that worked on Halo 2. Again, I'm not well versed in Halo itself as like a franchise, but I have read many articles and watched many videos talking about crunch time development in old school. I mean like 20 years ago, good lord. But this was made in 2004? And they were developing it they started development in like 2000 or 2001. So it's just how it was back in the day. Like, they put their blood, sweat, and tears. Like, it happened in World of Warcraft, it happened in Diablo, it happened in Halo, it happened, I think, in the original Destiny as well. Like, a lot of games back then had to do that. It's just so weird.
Labor rights and general DEI factors in the gaming sector, because this is what she cares about,
Age of Empires.
pushing an agenda of activism, and it shows through in her first article. She couldn't help herself. She had to inject that into the very first thing she writes about for Rolling Stone. Mercante's position at Rolling Stone thus far is a move that speaks volumes for the entire community. For a quote-unquote journalist who has sparked this kind
and again, normies read Rolling Stone, so like, what kind of opinion are they gonna get on the video game industry when you make it so negative? Like, if she's saying, oh, Halo 2 is like a really great game, but like they treat their employees like shit back then, it's like, that's not what happened. Like, again, with Blizzard, I can name a really good example. There's a book that someone wrote on the game development of World of Warcraft where they literally couldn't, they told them, hey, I don't think we're going to make it to November or December release for World of Warcraft, so we're going to have to eat on the floor with plastic plates for Thanksgiving because we can't go home to our kids. But they released the game in the state it was because they sacrificed so much. It's not a bad thing. They didn't treat them like shit. They put their love into the game. I'm sure that people at Halo also did the same thing. It sucked, but ultimately it is what it is.
A backlash in the past with the gaming community and has a long history of antagonistic engagements, stepping into a publication that seems to have a relatively detached understanding of real gamers and the audience it's serving seems quite fitting. Rolling Stone most likely has no idea just how universally unliked someone like Alyssa is. She's unwelcome by the vast majority of gamers that at least I talk to and most people that I encounter because of how one-sided she always seems to be. And at this point, it's obvious she knows she's not wanted, but falls back to the old reliable here to continue being comfortable in what she knows, using the game industry as a vehicle to push her message and agenda. For Rolling Stone, the publication is clearly lost and feeling its way through gaming journalism without any real grasp of what makes the community heartbeat tick. And right there is the epicenter of the issue with all of this. So yeah, Alyssa Mercante apparently is landing on her feet as a freelance writer thus far for Rolling Stone. Perhaps she's going to land a position at a company in Canada as well. We don't know yet. There's a lot.
Yeah, people are speculating that she landed a job in Sweet Baby Inc. That's gonna be something, man. If that's true, this is speculation. We don't know for sure, but people are speculating.
To be decided at this point. Yeah. But as of right now, the gaming industry in general, as far as the community is concerned, are rejecting her wholeheartedly once again and just saying, please, leave. No one wants you here. Go to another industry. No one's going to bother you there. Get the hell out of gaming. Take your ideologies, take your agenda, take your activism, pack it up, and leave. And most people at this point would have taken a hint. But hey, this is Alyssa we're talking about. And sometimes the most blatant hints aren't that obvious to some people. I'm going to leave it there. If you guys want more information, check out smashjt.com for the full article. If you appreciate what I'm doing, hit that join button. Thank you so much for watching. And as always, you stay smashing.
I can't believe it, man. I mean, I ultimately can believe it, man. Halo 2 is a classic, but its development was a mess. They made them crunch and work really, really hard. Hard work is bad. Oh, yeah.